And here we are once again. I'm going to announce myself like some sort of radio disc jockey and try to fill time up with what I think is appropriate for how someone should talk. And I'll do it without much judgment to myself. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, yeah, so we're working on the cover. Been doing pretty good. Worked on this over the weekend. I think Sunday I did a couple hours. I did about 45 minutes this morning. Well, let's kind of get into the meat of this right in here. Maybe go down this way. This would be good. Or I could go all the way up to this corner here. That'd be nice. Then I'd have like a part of it that's done. Okay, let's do it. I got some Celtic music. I don't know what was killing it before. I remember... Ooh. My mom said I talk like Andy Griffith. I'm actually going to look up Andy Griffith. Let's see what she means by I sound like Andy Griffith. YouTube. Andy Griffith. Not the theme song. I need that. Highlights. Best of Andy Griffith.
Hi, Jed. See you boys tonight?
Sure thing. Howdy, boys. Oh, Sheriff.
I arranged to let the Hanson brothers park their car inside while Wally's away. I'll check your and water party. No charge.
Hey, see you, boys.
How you doing, Mr. Carter? I just borrowed it.
You've told me that a dozen times. Oh, Sheriff. Mr. Carter, something wrong? I finally found who stole the battery out of my truck. And just as I figured all along, it was young Morgan here. A fine way to show his gratitude. You know, I hired him to make deliveries for me. I paid him a sight more than he was worth. And just the minute my back was turned, he stole me blind.
Damn.
Oh, and this was your idea, Sheriff.
I built a starter motor out of old parts, and I just wanted to see if it worked. So I took the battery out of the truck into the back room for a few minutes to connect it up.
Now that is a likely story. Jimmy, you want to wait outside just a minute? You don't actually expect me to lock him up, do you? Well, now that isn't the worst idea in the world.
Well, it's brand new carburetor he's going to put on his car.
Boy, that'll really boost the power. Put on dual points, advanced timing, switch manifold, that'd really hop her up.
Jimmy? You reckon you can put that thing on?
Sure.
Homer, how'd you like to have somebody help you get caught up on all this piled up repair work?
Who's that?
Well, Jimmy here. You ready to go to work, ain't you?
In a garage? Sure thing.
What's that, Homer?
Well, I don't know. Wally, he ain't here.
I'll fix it up with Wally.
Sheriff, you got to help me out. What am I going to tell Wally?
Well, what's the trouble?
Well, the box with all his brand new tools in it is missing.
Missing? You mean stolen?
Yeah, I remember because Jenny was using...
Why are people talking like that?
Late and locked up for me.
You say, Jimmy locked up?
Now, who could have done a thing like that?
Ugh.
Speaking of Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Homer said you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I understand he's working in long hours of the night.
Nothing wrong, is there? I mean, your car's running all right since I fixed it.
Oh, never better, never better. No, there's nothing wrong. Just want to see how he's making out. Well, we better get on back. Come on, Bart.
Huh?
Well, I don't know why you didn't just bring him in. It seems like an open and shut case to me.
Just did.
Yeah.
Don't get done. You are. Do we just ride a patrol car? You do. You're a fool, Otis. This
thought we had this all thrashed out before.
We did.
Well, why bring it up again?
Cause.
Cause what?
Just cause.
Son, that causing can go on and on if you give it its head. Now, what's this all about?
I just don't want to work for my allowance.
Okay, I'm very busy right now. Like I say, we've been through all that before.
I still don't want to work for my allowance.
Fine. You don't have to.
Oh, boy!
No work, no allowance.
That's not fair!
Don't raise your voice to me. Now, you get on out of here. I got things to do. What are you doing?
Which is not doing it for me, Andy Griffith.
Okay, I asked you what you're doing.
Norm MacDonald ideas, huh?
I tweeted Richard Dawkins, his famous atheist, and of course he just thinks I'm a moron, because he went to Cambridge and I dropped out of high school. But I asked him, I said, why does life insist? And they didn't understand. What's that mean? I'm like, well, it means, I thought he was like smart. So I said, why does life? I know you need to create other life.
Right.
Why do you have to procreate? Why do you have to live?
And fight to stay alive.
Yeah, fight to stay alive and make sure that your genes stay alive. Why do you have to do that? Why, if nothing matters, wouldn't the obvious thing to do be go extinct?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To me, that would be the clear and obviously self-evident thing to do. And, in fairness to Richard Dawkins, he said, oh, well, that's a philosophical question that I'll ask my friends and I'll try to get back to you. So it was very nice. But I think it lies at the heart of theology, and people of faith, especially in this town, they'll say you believe in an invisible man in the sky, and they already throw on you their ideas of what you believe in, although they don't know what you believe, they don't know what you think of as God, But the one question that always bothered me, and always bothers everybody, is how can children die if there's a benevolent God, right? And how can 6 million go through the chimney at Birkenhead,
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question that I think I have an answer for, because I think a lot about this kind of stuff. Because I'd really like there to be a God. I don't know at all, but I really would like there to be a God.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sarah Silverman told me, she's like, so you really believe in it? I go, I'm trying, She's like, you believe in an invisible man in the sky? She said it that way. So I'm like, well, whatever, if you want to say it that way. So she's like, well, good luck with that. I'm like, well, it's a good luck for you, too. It's not like your idea of, like, being thrown on the ground and having dirt tossed on you is such a beautiful, great idea,
That doesn't bother me.
Dirt thrown on you forever?
I mean, yeah, because I just sort of feel like it's probably just a blissful state of non-existence that I had before. Boy, I'm gonna be really.
Well,
it's gonna be a huge bummer if that's not.
But
the
if
case.
you have a blissful state of non-existence, then you're talking about an afterlife.
Well, okay, blissful is probably the wrong word. I just meant I'm not aware of anything. I think it'd be great if there was something, but if there's not, I think the worst thing would be your consciousness lives on, but there's nothing. So you just feel,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that would be hell.
I suppose.
I mean, Nabokov, I think, was the guy who said, like, he saw a picture of himself. I'm sorry, he saw a picture of his parents. And his parents had his older brother in his arm, and his mother had his older brother in her arms, and his mother and father and his older brother. But he had not been born yet. And he said he felt no grief or terror at that picture.
Sure.
Where he didn't exist.
Right.
So I thought that was very interesting. Like it's what you're saying. You know,
Right.
that why be afraid of not existing? Because it's not really you that dies. It's the world that dies.
Sure.
And you know, everything there is. Everything there is. Everything.
I mean, I think it would be fantastic if there was some sort of a transformation of, oh, this is a conservation of emotional energy that, you know, once your emotional energy forms, it can't ever be destroyed, and it just disperses into the universe somehow, and you're a part of this thing that is, you can't comprehend now, but once you're there, you'll totally get it.
It's very hard to believe.
But it'd be great if that were the, and I don't,
of course it would be great.
I don't fault anyone.
But here's my answer for the
What's the answer?
For the chimneys. Here's what I believe. If there is a God, and if he is good, and if he created the universe and the earth, then an all good being, what can he create? He can't create good, because that would just be expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So all he can create is bad. So he creates bad, and then in a cool twist, the bad that he creates is allowed itself, in a godlike way, to create good from the bad. Because originally God created good from the bad, then bad from the good, and then he gives man the exact opportunity. So, just from a standpoint of logic, which, you know, is what atheists always try to say, I believe that there is an answer for the question of why God allows horrors, and that's what I come up with. But I also, you know, I have a rabbi who I talk to a lot. I'm not Jewish.
No, McDonald's, no.
I was for a year, but he's the guy that knows. You know, he's a scholar. You know, like my pastor doesn't know anything. Like he's just a pleasant guy. And he has.
I don't know. You should probably look that up. Hey, what is there? I mean, you know.
I know. If you ask him a direct question, you know, what? Didn't you hear my sermon? And the sermon's always like, you know, how to be a nice fella, you know, or something. You know, so nonsense. But his pastor, I found his pastor because I try to read the scriptures and study them. Last week I asked this priest, this rabbi. I was saying, like in the Old Testament, they have the Lord's Prayer. And in the Lord's Prayer, he says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And I said, how could God lead us into temptation? It's without his boundaries, you know, it's without his fence. And God can't do that, if I'm correct about the God of the Old Testament. He cannot, it's not in his nature. You know, the devil can, but not God. So the devil's hard to believe in. Of all the religions, it's hard to say one's worse than the other, you know. But I can say with all belief that there's one religion that's just not true, and that's the Church of Satan. I think it even purports to be not true. Like it's like, you know, there's a guy that's bigger than me.
Well, I think some of them. I think some of the people who were, and I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but just some of the stuff that I've seen online, I think some people adopt it as kind of a counter, like, okay, well, you guys have that guy over there with the beard, and then we have this guy, and we should all be accepting. It's not just that one, or just like, you know, I think sometimes I think.
But do you really want to have a personal relationship with the devil? A guy, you know, it's the only religion where there's a bigger, stronger guy outside, you know, of that the Satanists say exists.
Sure. Yeah.
But they say we're gonna go with the
guy who was because that guy, like, you know, that guy wasn't popular. He got cast out. So like, we're gonna go with this guy over here. Cause
maybe that's it. Maybe he's an outlaw.
Yeah, he's kind of an outlaw. Yeah, exactly.
He's definitely the original outlaw. Look, I don't want to say too many good things about the devil. But I guess he was. Now that you say it, he was the original outlaw.
Yeah, he was the original guy who got kicked out of the party. You know, like who doesn't relate to that?
Exactly.
You know, it's like big popular guys having a party. There's naked people running around. You know, there's snakes and apples. There's beautiful gardens. Like, yeah, they get kicked out. You know, come on. Everyone knows what that feels like.
It's funny, like, you know, people think that whatever your religion, you are Christian or whatever, that you're so self-righteous, but actually, you know, they feel they're sinners. You know, when I was a Christian, I would sin all the time, and like I ate apples. That's on page 1 of the book. Worst possible thing you could do. And but anyways, I'm right now I'm up no faith. You know,
But you're looking for answers.
yeah, I'll find something. You know, I'm probably closer to Judaism right now than anything else. But I like the laughter is so important to me. You know, I'm talking about me laughing,
Sure.
not hearing other people laugh.
Right.
But me laughing because I'm so emotional and so sensitive that I can be broken. You know, and I know I can. You know, and so laughter is what keeps me.
Wow, that was pretty heavy.
I am doing well. So the question on everyone's mind is: are you going to host this show? Are you gonna permanently host this show?
No, I won't. No, I prefer you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If what did the LBJ say? If elected, I will not. If what is it? If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
Well,
I like Shad, man.
What about entertainment in Canada? Period.
What about it?
Would you want to work up here?
Yeah,
Do you
no,
hate
I work
working
up
up here? What do you think of the
Well, when I
entertainment?
was starting it, and I started a long time ago, I'm an old man. You know, 50, 2 score and 10, as Abraham Lincoln would say. So you know, let's face it, I've seen more sunsets than I'm going to see. But when I started out in stand-up, there wasn't no Canadian TV. You know, there wasn't or movies or nothing like that. So we did our stand-up, and then we would travel around. And thanks to this very nice man named Mark Breslin, who started Yuck Yucks, we got a chance to do stand-up. And but there was nothing that we were going for. There was only getting better at stand-up. When I moved to Los Angeles, I started noticing. The first thing I noticed was, God damn, everybody's handsome. Like all the stand-ups were super handsome guys, which is not the case here, or it was not the case when I was here. And so I was like, that's weird. And then I realized they were only using stand-up as a springboard to other things, which I don't like. I just like stand-up for its own sake.
Was it the performance side you liked first, or the writing?
Writing. I like just to write. Like even later, like I thought, man, I should be doing something on stage, because I would write the jokes and I would just stand like a statue on stage. I'd move a little bit now, but literally, first of all, I'd be frozen with fear, but also it never occurred to me if I was talking about rocking a baby, to pretend to rock a baby with my hands. I thought I just said it. So I could have really just put a bunch of papers on a stool in front of everyone and let them peruse it.
How did you get better at that?
I never got better. I'm a little bit better at physicalizing my act a little bit, but it's still mostly words. It's the imagination. You know, the mind. When I was young, we had radio, and in many ways it was better. No, I'm just kidding. But you know how they say that, old men? They're like, we would listen to the radio, and it was better because your imagination is better than your, you know, especially hardcore pornography. And you go, what? You know, it's a weird thing, though, seriously?
Yeah.
They go, like, about, speaking of pornography, because nowadays it's so awful. But in the old days, all you had to see is a fleeting glimpse of a lady's ankle, and that would be enough. But you think about that, that's gross. Like, that's guys at home doing gross stuff to himself, thinking about a lady's ankle. Damn, that's kind of odd too.
And so, do you think radio is better as far as the imagination? Just generally
I like
speaking.
radio
on that theme.
comedy, which doesn't exist anymore. But I was thinking of doing that radio podcast stuff. I was thinking of doing an old-timey radio thing because there are radio jokes that can't be done on television. I can't think of one, but it'd be like, and it doesn't help any that you're wearing a pink chiffon, something you don't see.
Yeah.
But works after the joke that you just heard. Informs the joke afterwards. I don't know a lot of words, Shad, and I'm trying to fit them in properly.
Okay, I want to stick on the topic of Canada for a second since we have you here on our public broadcaster.
Yeah.
You said that as a young man, going on the train across Canada was one of your favorite things.
I love that. Yeah.
What was it about that you loved?
I'm going to do that again, I think. It was, you see the country. The train is the most beautiful, all through literature, the train has, actually it symbolizes death. That's a good one. But when you go on a train across Canada, you start at Moncton and you go across.
Yeah.
The first couple of days, people are normal. After that, people go crazy, start having sex with each other. Not me, but I saw it. And then a guy gave me a cookie. I was only 16, right?
He gave you a cookie. Is that like
a cookie.
signal or what is that?
Like one of those cookies that's laced with
Oh, okay.
drugs. But I was only a kid. I was only 15, 16. So the guy sitting right beside me, he's like, "Hey, you want one of these cookies?" I go, "No, man, I don't want no cookie." He's like, "These are good cookies." I'm like, "I don't want no cookie." He's like, "I'm telling you, this is a good cookie." I'm like, "Enough of the cookies." So anyways, whatever. The guy finally started yapping about his cookies, And then I woke up like a day later, whatever, and nobody was around, and I was hungry, and there was the bag of cookies. I ate the whole bag.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well. And then I remember there was a little elderly black gentleman that was a porter who I said really filthy things to, like almost like I was coming on to him.
As a teenager?
Yeah.
Because of the cookies?
Because of the cookies, I figured I'd have my sexual awakening with a 78-year-old man.
But you went back onto the train, though.
Yeah, I've been on the train three or four times.
So that didn't scare you off?
No, the train across Canada, if anybody has a chance to do it, is the most beautiful experience. You go through Kicking Horse Pass and stuff, and you go in the bar car, and you meet strangers, and you look out the window, and there's a lady putting up her, her wash on her line with her clothespin.
It's very romantic, right? Yeah. You imagine your life in any of these little cities and what it would maybe look like.
Yeah, and the lady with the clothespins, imagines your life. Yeah.
And you brought up Moncton, that's where the train line starts.
Yes.
And you tweeted a really great story about your friend Phil.
Oh, yeah.
In Moncton. Can you tell us about that?
There was some unpleasantness in Moncton a year ago or so.
The shooting.
With the shooting, yeah. Which is something that happens in our times. That didn't happen when I was a boy. But, I knew an old man there who my friend Shaggy, that was his real name, but he sounded like the dude from Scooby-Doo. And so we all laughed about that because we did Count Chocula and smoke marijuana. And so he said, I was going to Moncton, I just started taking the train, and I said, I get some work. He said, oh yeah, my old man's there, Phil. And so anyways, when this unpleasantness happened in Moncton, it was the Kings were in the finals,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and I was there and I had a ticket. And instead of going to the game, I phoned Phil, talked to him, and he was like barricaded in his basement. And it was kind of cool, like I was talking to him, and then he was halfway through, he's like, screw this, man, I'm going to go upstairs. He kept talking about his big 50-inch TV. He was going to watch it, and then he reminded me of all this stuff that I was there. And then the coolest one thing was he reminded me that he had taken me to a game where Daryl Sutter
like a junior hockey game.
Dang.
Yeah. So it was really, really cool. It was amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
You tweeted that story. You also tweeted a really touching story about Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
What is it with Twitter and the short stories. You seem to like that form. You express yourself well in it. People like it. What is it about Twitter and short stories for you?
Well, because I didn't know what Twitter was for really much. You know, people told me you gotta get Twitter, and I was like, no, people just say that, you know, I'm eating a hamburger, stuff like that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
And
which it kind of is.
a lot of it is, yeah. And so then I went on and I told some jokes, and then my fans would go, "That one sucks." They're supposed to be your fans, you know. They just abuse you constantly. So, but then I would sometimes have memories of people, or, you know, people pass or something, and I'd have a memory and no one to tell it to, and so it would just be late at night and sort of. It's not really meant as anything that would ever be published or anything. It was just a way of me telling the people that followed me on Twitter that I knew Robin Williams, and I met Robin Williams once, and he was very sweet to me, and so I just, you know.
Do you think people are getting a different side of you through those sorts of tweets and short stories?
Yeah, maybe, like, you know, people are always thinking, you know, that you're that there's only one side to you, and, you know, the performing side of a person obviously is the smallest side of their facets, you know. But yeah, maybe they get a little bit of, but that's not really why I do it. I just do it because it's late at night and I'm alone and I don't drink or smoke or do drugs or be promiscuous or anything. So I just kind of reflect a lot.
Well, another thing people got a sense of.
Man, that seems agonizing.
Is when you defended Alice Monroe. There's a little attack from Brett Eaton.
Where is?
Well, there's this guy, so I don't really follow modern.
Oh, I gotta find my phone.
I don't know if you call it literature, graffiti, whatever it is he does. So he had written something against Alice Monroe, and then I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I read one of his quote unquote books, and
Which one? American Psycho?
American Psycho.
Yeah.
That was the famous one. And people have told me it was good. Well, whatever. So then I was like, how dare this guy, you know, to say something about something he doesn't understand, you know. I mean, it's one thing, you can be a bad writer, but God, at least read. You know, at least learn to read if you're going to be a writer, for God's sakes.
Well, people probably didn't know about your interest in literature, your analysis and...
People don't know that. I like writing a great deal, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me the source, but the greatest writers are novelists.
Yeah.
But then I would put I don't know, maybe singer-songwriters I put way up there.
I had a comedian.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Well, because I don't think of comedy really as an art. Like I think of other things. I think of comedy as more of a craft, you know. It could reach certain levels, but only certain levels, because comedy requires laughter, and as soon as you require something of an audience, you're in trouble, you know.
That's interesting, because to me, comedy is the highest art.
Really?
It's the most kind of simple and precise, and it holds the most things together. Like in one joke or one sort of comedic phrase or story, you can represent so many things, and laughter is kind of the thing that brings the most people together. I think even more than music, people like laughter.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's kind of the
What
highest.
did you just say, though? That it holds what?
It holds so many things together. You know, somebody can tell a joke that is true, that is funny, that is sad, kind of all at the same time, and it can be as short as one line. So to me, it's actually kind of the highest art.
No, I mean, as far as writing goes, like, to me, the shorter the better. Like if you take comedy writing, like a movie would be the worst to me, and then a TV show, and then a sketch. I mean, in terms of hardness, and then a joke would be the hardest, and this shortest joke, you know, like there's a famous joke by Henny Youngman, "Take my wife, please." So that's 4-word joke, you know, 3-word setup, 1-word punchline. So that's incredibly difficult. No, the reason I was saying is because you have to produce laughter. So you can have a layered joke, but you can't have something that can be interpreted by different people in different ways, because you have to create a noise at a certain time, and that noise has to be consistent. So every single person in that audience has to understand. so therefore it's a little bit of a blunt force instrument.
Yeah.
You know, but there is a way to bring art, you know,
Into comedy.
but it's more difficult.
I have to say, my favorite.
I'm not usually serious about stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
No, that's great. I have to say, probably my favorite thing about you, and I told you I saw your show in Vancouver. I pretty much paid the ticket, however much it was, to hear you say the phrase "on account of." That is, like, to me, the funniest thing.
On account of?
On account of.
Well, it's kind of Canadian phrase, I think.
Did that just strike you as funny, or did you ever analyze that? There's something about that that's just hilarious. I paid $50 to hear you say that live.
On account of?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up, Shad. My father was old when he had me.
Yeah.
And he was 50, a little older than 50. And then I grew up in rural Canada, very barren soil, and everybody was old except me and my brothers. So everybody was like 50. All my dad's friends were 50. So I grew up with all the old guys, and so I took on a lot of their phrases and stuff like that. So sometimes, like I remember my dad would say, "She's no hell," and it was such a weird phrase to me, but that meant she's nothing special. You know, she's not that pretty.
Okay.
She's no hell. But you'd think it would be she's no heaven.
Yeah.
But so I learned phrases like that.
And fans also love your fearlessness on stage.
On account of what?
On account of you going on, talk shows. Even Conan O'Brien has talked about how you're unpredictable. He never knows what you're gonna do.
Well, what happens is in talk shows they tell you, not here, but on Letterman and Conan stuff, they pre-interview you. So you tell a story to the pre-interviewer, then he tells Letterman. Then you go on and tell Letterman he already knows the story.
Yeah.
So when I first started, I was like, I just made up a whole bunch of stories that I didn't tell. So I tell the pre-interviewer a bunch of stories. Then I get on Letterman, he'd ask me, and I'd tell him all different stories to surprise him, you know. So he wouldn't know the story, because that sucks if a guy's already heard the story. And so then finally they decided, what's the use, you know.
But do Letterman and Conan and these guys like when you throw something new at them, or are they like?
No, they like it. Yeah, they like it. They're cool with it. Because, well, I mean, Letterman's the funniest guy I've ever met, so he's like, you gotta keep up with him, you know. He's very, very difficult to stay with, you know, because he's just so funny and so fast and so super sharp. And, I remember one of my first things I ever did, it was this joke that it was in my act, it had been in my act for a year or whatever. And I did it on panel with him, talking. Panel is where you just talk to the guy. And then he did a line right after it that was funnier than all the thing. I was like, damn, I worked for a year on that joke, and you just thought of it out of your crazy big mind.
Did you first meet him doing stand-up, or did you first meet him on that show?
No, on that show. He did stand-up for a very short time when I was a young boy, but he was not a stand-up. But he was nice to me. He's taken me to dinner and stuff and talked. You know, he's kind of an odd duck, but super smart and really, really funny. But you can be having dinner with Letterman. It'd be like six. You know, he always brings 5 or 6 guys, so he's protected. And then he'll be like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then he leaves. And then people eat going, I guess he's not coming back.
Does it ever scare you, the chaos?
The chaos of
being unpredictable, of sharing some story that hasn't been vetted by everyone else.
Sometimes I do get scared. I get scared on the Howard Stern show because it's so long form, and he does this thing where he's super honest, and then he makes you be super honest, and then afterwards you're like, what did I say? What did I say? What did I say? And then I remember one time I was in a limo, like right after Stern. I was talking to the limo driver, and this Greek guy, and I was like, I was talking to Stern. I don't even know what I said. He's like, yeah. He's like, he's like a hypnotist. He goes, I bring my wife to. I don't know if this is very good Greek. He goes, I bring my wife to Las Vegas one year. Hypnotist bring me up. I talk to him. I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, I'm in my underwear. So it's like, that was like, he like looks you right in the eye, talks to you, and now all of a sudden you're in your underwear.
Sidebar, do you think that actually works, that hypnotist stuff?
I tell you, man, I saw Bravine the Impossibilist once, and that was the guy's name.
Yeah.
I was at the NAC in Ottawa, where I live. I was 13 years old, and he had guys up there, and he was talking to them, and they're saying, and then so everybody running around. One guy talked like he was from the moon. He said, "You from the moon? You got moon language." And this other guy, he does this other thing, and you're a chicken and stuff, right? So all chaos going around, and that guy pecking. I remember the chicken guy went right by me. He was pecking, trying to get some food. There's no food. And anyways, after the show, I was out in the parking lot with my brothers, right? And I see the guy. I go, "There's that chicken guy. I'm gonna talk to him." So I went up to him. I said, "What was that like, man? You thought you were chicken?" And then he's like, "It was cool." And I was like, "Wait a second, hold on. Like, if you thought you were a chicken for 15 minutes, if you had that psychic break, you go like, oh my God, I gotta go lie down and seek counseling." And so the guy was just going along, just lying. It's like, it's cool. How's that cool? Thinking you're not a human. So no, I don't believe it. They want me to stop smoking. Say, go to a hypnotist, and they'll, and he said, work for me. I'm like, I feel I want to quit myself on account of, I don't want to be that weak that a hypnotist, I go, "Hey man, I quit smoking. That's the good news. Bad news, I got no will of my own." It's an old man on Bloor Street. He makes my decisions for me.
Okay, just going back to the chaos for a second, and sorry, I have to catch my breath. Going back to the chaos for a second. Is there anything in those moments that comes to mind that you've regretted? Like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that turn. That really, really stands out for you. I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have made that joke.
No, not usually, because I've bombed many times, and when I do, I have sort of outer body experience. Because there's this thing with stamps, when you see another guy bomb, you're like, you like it. I don't know what it is, but you're used to seeing people do good. And if people have stories, even in life, usually the stories, something bad happened to you. If all your stories, you're the hero, that's not a good story.
No.
And then I did good again. So usually the stories are you're embarrassed, something bad happened.
Hey, Fujo Bear.
I get a kind of an outer body experience while I'm bombing. Because I think it's kind of funny. Like, guys went there to laugh, and then nothing worked out. And then also it's funny, they hate your guts. Like, you're doing your best. It's not like you're intentionally, trying to make them not laugh.
Yeah.
But you're just failing. And then they're like, "We hate you." Like, and so I find that kind of funny. Then I smirk, and then they really, really hate me.
But that exists in other forms of performance. Like, if I go up and I play a song and people don't think it's great, there's like this instinct to clap.
Yeah, right.
People just clap or cheer.
Yeah.
They're just this instinctual thing that happens because the song's done.
Yeah.
But with comedy, it's almost the opposite.
It is. They got you can get people to clap. I always thought clapping for comedy was the opposite thing you want, because clapping is like a sense, sort of. They're saying, "We agree with you." It's usually like some lame thing, like you go, "Pat Buchanan's a Nazi" or something. Ridiculous thing. And but laughter is involuntary.
Yeah.
Laughter is like, people don't expect or want to laugh, but applause is like, "Yes, we agree. You are right. George Bush started a war." You're like, well, where's the damn joke?
We got to wrap up, unfortunately.
Right,
but
you are awesome.
Well, thank you. You were great, and
I hope you
helped.
stay here, do the job. That'd be awesome.
Thank you very much. I'd love to have you back if I do.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Last thing, you were campaigning for Craig Ferguson's job, and we just want to know what's next for you. We want to see more of you. We want to hear more of you.
Oh, well,
What's
that's
next?
a nice thing for you to say.
It's the truth.
I don't know why you're so plural. Why is this you?
What do you mean?
They teach that on radio? Go, "We would like to see you."
No, that's actually. I think they're trying to get me not to say that.
Say I.
And say I, but I don't know. It's like a natural, deferential, I think, polite thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Something. It feels too intimate to say I do.
Oh, okay. So, hey, there's some music.
Oh, there's some music, yeah. So we got to go. Hopefully, Norm will stick around. Norm Macdonald is at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre in Toronto tonight. and at Hamilton Place in Hamilton, Ontario tomorrow. He joined us
I
in Studio
believe
Q.
the Hamilton one was the last Cosby performance.
Sure.
It's wild. Love me some Norm Macdonald though.
We hear this?
Look at that. Hi. Yeah, my name's Phil.
I'm Stan. We'll be your oglers.
I see some movement.
Little action.
And
Oh, I
he's
see a
left
free
the fray.
blanket. I
Okay.
see an open blanket. Well, hello.
Hi.
Now, my name is Bud Light.
Bud Light, that's an interesting
I'm gonna have to draw non-stop for like 8 hours to finish this. At this pace.
With which I kiss. You ever walked with a bottle in the moonlight?
Well, no, I haven't.
And in glass?
Oh, Bud.
Holy heiny. Apparently this is your good side.
Yeah, everyone tells me my front and my back are my good side. Just don't ever look at me from the side. I'm so funny.
I'm having the best day ever. Oh.
Check out BudLight.com and
Tom Green,
they have some
now.
cool stuff there actually. That this is a light beer.
Wow, 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 wow. Well, we're almost 1 hour in. What is this? Greg Sestero helps Bob Odenkirk remake The Room. Bob Odenkirk remade The Room? Why bother? The making of the Nintendo 64. 4.5 minute video. All right, I see you. About the dimensions. Nah, I think I want to hear people talk. Is that bad to have other people talk? I guess it's whatever I want. Yeah, I can't listen to those guys. O.J. Simpson, 2006. Oh my God. I guess I'll just have to put some music on. Because otherwise, well, the paradox of choice. Andy Griffith Show. No PB&J sandwiches for Barney. Barney Fife, I think is his name. New World Order is a collectible card game published by Steve Jackson in 1994. All right. Pinball collection. Oh, interesting. More Norm Macdonald talking on Tom Green. Isn't there I could listen to more Norm. Norm Macdonald. Wow. There's a lot of stuff cut up about Norm. Oh, Norm. You know what it is? It's just when people have a unique voice and things happen in life, you get sad because you'd like to hear their take on things. Or we'd say on. Maybe they took the video down. Remembering Norm MacDonald. There's a bunch of his work up too. I guess everyone's just like, forget it. I'll just put it up. Well, I guess since he's done. I don't like his contemporary work. I wonder if you could find maybe philosophy. The philosophy of. What's the better video? Is a short video better than a long video on YouTube? Or is a long video really well done more valuable? I think in the long run, the longer form is going to do better. That's my guess. I don't know. Everyone's making short form right now too. That's the funny part. Yeah, I guess the video got taken down. Everything is good timing. Oh, I like that one. Well, I'm not going to jockey a bunch of his work.
That was kind. God damn. You threw me out. Last time I performed here at the Just for Laughs Gala was 25 years ago, and I did so well, they invited me back. So that was nice. Montreal, my God, they call me an eternal optimist, but I really believe in my heart that this is the year that the Expos are finally going to win it all. Montreal, famous for a lot of things, one of them being the greatest strip clubs in all of the world. Yeah. Last night, you were Club Super Sex? So last night I went to Club Super Sex. I chose the soup. Big mistake.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Hey, big election coming up, and in Canada, this is the difference in elections in America and Canada, is elections in America mean something. You vote for the wrong motherfucker, the world blows up. I don't need that on my hands. Whereas Canada, it's always like, well, what's your view on the bridge? I say keep it as it is. I don't think they need to clean that up. That's fine. It was easy when I was young to vote because it was simply, you just didn't vote for the French guy. It couldn't have been an easier choice. Trudeau was my hero, though. I loved him, you know. And since I come back, I've been watching the news and everything. I've been seeing Justin, you know. And I thought, by God, you know, this Justin kid, he must be brilliant because his father was Pierre Elliott Trudeau. But then I forgot, he's got a mother. So that kind of evens everything out. You know, what's also different in America and Canadian election, in America, you get to vote for the President of the United States, and in Canada, you vote for some motherfucker who live down the street. And you're riding. Whatever the hell that is. So then, that guy, he goes to the House of Parliament, you know, and he's like, oh, wow, this is big. And then the speaker's like, all right, well, what are we going to talk about? Anybody want to bring an issue? And then your guy's like, yeah, I just, our bridge ain't looking too good. The speaker's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, I'll sit down. Sorry about that, Anyways, hey, how about that Caitlyn Jenner, huh?
Uh-oh.
I personally have great admiration for Caitlyn Jenner because, you know, back in the year of our Lord 1976, when I was a teenage boy, why, I saw Caitlyn Jenner here at the 1976 Olympics. She went by the name of Bruce back then. And she won the decathlon. And this is what I think. I think what a wonderful time. You see, it's all timing, you know? And now, imagine how great it would have been for the transgender community if, when awarded that gold medal, Bruce Jenner said, hey, I'm a lady. And people go, God damn, the greatest athlete in the world is a lady. Would have really vaulted it, but no, he waits. Waits until he is 65 years old. Now, you know, in all seriousness, I mean, in all honesty, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old man Well, I hate to bring it up, the elephant in the room. There's no elephant in the room, by the way, don't panic. What if there was an actual elephant in the room? Like, I don't want to bring up the elephant in the room. Yeah, no, go ahead. No, seriously, yeah. I think I should bring up there's an elephant in the room. No, go ahead. Now, the elephant in the room, of course, here we are at a comedy festival. And, of course, this was the year of Bill Cosby. And this was tough on me as a comedian. And I'm sure on many of the comedians you'll see here tonight. Because, you know, there's a trailblazing comic, Mr. Cosby, you know. And I remember growing up and listening to albums of his with my dad. And by God, I loved him, you know. And I tried to emulate. Really loved Bill Cosby, you know, and so to have this happen just made me so sad. You know, a friend of mine said to me, he said, Norm, you know, the worst thing about it is the hypocrisy. And I said, I don't think that's the worst part. Worst part, the raping. Then it would be the drugging that preceded the raping. Then it would be finding the drugs that you would be used to drug the lady that you were going to rape. You know, it's a big, long list until you hit hypocrisy. That'd be way down there. venture to guess, and I don't know, I have no empirical evidence for this, but I would venture to guess that most rapists are hypocrites. There's a lot of rapists hanging around going, sure, I love to rape.
What a topic.
I'm no hypocrite. So anyways, that is how I feel about Bill Cosby and hypocrisy. I feel that it's just, it doesn't come into the equation at all. Like you can never find a woman would never wake up all drugged up and shit, Cosby cock in her face.
Oh my goodness.
Oh goddamn, what is that, a Cosby cock or something? Looked like a Cosby cock to me. Hypocrisy!
A tough guy in real life. Huh. Ah. Man, there's a lot of material. People have been posting it up. Posting up the old normie. All right, let's get some music going instead. Kind of just want to make a snack and go to bed. Ugh. Let's see where we at here. Brum, 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 brum. Brum, 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 brum. These covers are tough. Yeah, let's crush this down. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Not too bad. We're spreading this direction. All right, I'm going to call it. Not super ambitious, but we got a Monday in. Was drawn a little bit this morning. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll be able to. It doesn't seem like I'm stressing it too much. Trying to visualize what I want it to look like. There's definitely going to be a cutoff with this. We just got to make sure the purple spots are really healthy and well done with really interesting poses and stuff like that. That's really important. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Fujo Bear. I appreciate you. Maybe I'll be on tomorrow morning. I don't see why not. So, and what I'm doing here is I'm filling this in with this black texture. And that actually seems to be the thing that works. I think that's a good way to... I don't know. It's kind of flat, though. Like, isn't there more information back here? Ugh. There's a point where you got to just let it go. The highlighting's helping, doing the outlines of the characters. Clarity is really important with these graphic novels. It's very important. People need to know where they're going. All right. I'll probably do some studying. We should be able to get to drawing tomorrow. Peace out.